Welcome to another edition of Preaching Pointers. And in this little video, what I would like to talk about is the terms exegesis and eisegesis. Just in a very simple way, think about what do these terms mean and what's the practical implication of them as perhaps we come as a preacher to prepare our sermon. Well, first of all, what do these terms mean? If you read any sort of book on preaching or sermon preparation, you're quite likely to come across these terms of exegesis and eisegesis. Exegesis is the idea of drawing out from the passage, whereas eisegesis is the idea of reading into the passage or text that you are looking at. Well, you might say, what do you mean by that? Well, with exegesis, it's the idea of drawing out from the passage that which God intended to communicate through that passage or through that text. So you're looking at the passage in such a way that you're trying to discover what God intended to communicate through that passage or text, and you're looking to draw that out. On the other hand, eisegesis is the idea of you reading into the passage. That is, you are reading into the passage what you would like it to say, and or some idea that you would like to bring out from that passage. And so the emphasis of eisegesis is looking at the passage in order to support our own ideas, what we would like to communicate, rather than looking at the passage to discover what God intended to communicate through that passage or through that text. And so as preachers, when we are looking to prepare our sermons, we want to be practicing exegesis and avoid eisegesis. So how can we do that? How can we encourage exegesis in our sermon preparation? Well, can I suggest to you that first of all, we need to be prayerfully bringing the passage before God with an open mind and open heart, asking him to reveal to us what he intended to communicate through that passage and to preserve us, if you like, from having the wrong ideas about that passage. But also coming to the passage and not only coming to the passage prayerfully, but also coming to the passage carefully studying the content of the passage or text and carefully studying the context of the passage and text. And from that prayerful and careful approach, we're looking to formulate our ideas about what God intended to communicate through that passage. And so letting that ideas be driven by the content and the context of the passage, rather than trying to squeeze our own ideas into the passage that we are dealing with. So we want to be those who practice exegesis, prayerfully and carefully coming to the passage that we might understand and draw out from that passage what God intended to communicate through it. So thank you again just for listening to another edition of Preaching Pointers. If you've enjoyed this video, then please like it and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for listening.